Okay, one day a random thought came into my mind. Can I be immortal? COVID made us think that our life is very short. But what if it isn't? Okay, fine. That was not a random thought. I'll tell you the reason at the end of the video. There is a lab-grown cancer cell from a human body which is actually immortal. It is now being used to cure diseases and making vaccines. A scientist, George Guy from Johns Hopkins, received a very strange blood sample. Dark, purple, shiny, jelly-like. The sample was special. Most of the cells just kept dividing and dividing and dividing. When one individual cell died, generation and generation of cells took its place, which still exists after so many years. To be exact, 72 years. That was the very first human immortal cell. Guy labeled it HeLa, after the patient with this unusual tumor, Henrietta Lacks. On the contrary, she actually died a few months later because the tumor was harvested from her body and the tumor was her life support. In the normal human cells, they divide up to 50 times before they self-destruct in the process of apoptosis. This prevents the propagation of genetic errors, but cancer cells, on the other hand, ignore these signals and keep dividing indefinitely and crowding out the normal cells. Still, most cell lines eventually die off, especially outside of the body. But not HeLa though. Okay, cool, but can I be immortal from this cell? We see cells like HeLa can actually give a life support but can't make you an immortal because it's a tumor cell. So the other alternative you can think of is slow down the process of aging or maybe just reverse it. That is actually possible. But before that, here's the crazy part. I can predict when you die. We can read this methylation pattern and I could tell you how old you are and when you're gonna die. It is actually a clock, the Harworth clock, named after Steve Harworth. So there are these little chemicals that accumulates on the DNA just like the plaque on the teeth. It is readable, and the more you have, the older you are, biologically. So you might be 30 and you might be 40 at the same time, biologically. In a research, Professor Sinclair of Harvard University found a way to age mice faster. So the image you see on the screen right now are actually twins, but still one looks older than the other one. The clock of senescence, and the only way to accelerate is to go break a chromosome. Sinclair went and broke the chromosome of the mouse, but not enough to cause mutation. The cells do put the DNA back together, so we didn't lose any genetic information. Reversing aging requires an epigenetic reset, which may be possible using Yamanaka factors. These 4 factors can revert an adult cell into a pluripotent stem cell. How crazy is that? Professor Sinclair used 3 of the 4 factors to reverse aging in the retinal cells of the old mice. He found they could see again after the treatment. Maybe I did too. These are applicable to the mouse as of yet, but maybe in future we could live longer and reverse the aging, maybe for centuries. That concludes this, and the number 1 reason I researched over this is because of my name, Ayush, which in Sanskrit means long life. So I wonder, how long is it? Normal human expectant life of 70 to 80 years, or maybe even longer.